Hello, everyone. Maggie here, and welcome to the channel. It has been, what do you say, 5 days since I even uploaded a video, and you could say like 3 to 4 days since I uploaded League of Legends shorts. Although the two anime shorts is gonna keep you occupied for the next 3 to 4 days, of course. So I haven't done any League content in about 3 days, which for a small channel like me is great. For like a person with like 20,000 channels, it's gonna be like a rough one. And I did posted a note talking about my absence, and I apologize for it. And I think one of the comments actually give me some encouragement to do this video, or pretty much like some good thoughts. So I'm gonna read a little bit of comment talking about this whole thing, and it says, I believe, let's just see. I'm gonna find it. I'm going to find it. There was a post. It's up there. It's up there. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go on YouTube. Sorry about the long absence. I'm going to go on YouTube and find the note. And find the note. Let me just. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. This is a weird, awkward start to the video. Really weird, awkward start to the video. Okay, let's just see. Right. So, in my note, I posted a little bit of comment in saying, and it's only at 5 likes, 2 comments, me and the other person. But I did make a comment about talking about not being jealous, being appreciated for the channel, but also yeah. So it says, I'm gonna read the whole confession, that I think I did a little too much. I think everybody wants $1,000 setup and 2K views, but realizing that, you know, I think my videos are not doing that much. And I think my highest ever video I've done is like a 1K view, of course. And I'm not doing this based on jealousy or anything like that. I think I'm so desperate to get like the 100 subs, and I feel like I have that feeling. And this is also, I confessed, of course, that my mind is getting a little bit clogged up sometimes because I'm watching anime, I'm watching sports, I'm watching all this kind of stuff, and it just have that feeling of like I never have time to do League of Legends content in the broader way that I ever done it. And doesn't I don't post on X. I don't post on your Facebook and Reddit. I don't do that much. I'm not like an active person in the community, but I'm doing it bit by bit so that, you know, I can, make sure I get more exposure, of course. I don't have famous people to do anything. I don't have any kind of goals to be famous or anything like that. I'm like, if you wanted to reference an anime purpose, of a Yumiko Jaboni kind of stuff. Yes, I see you have already learned the shorts. That sometimes I want to be rich, but it's a thrill of doing these videos and all kind of stuff. It's the most important thought. And that's gonna be my whole thing. And of course, they talk about my accent, and unfortunate, and I'm Jamaican, talking an accent, and I'm doing a little bit different from your Shynox and the last Free Natures of the world. Again, not a little jealousy, but still. And I wanted to make an update. I want to make a small little update to the channel, but it's going to be happening pretty much tonight or tomorrow, depends on this whole thing. And someone delivered a massive comment to me. It said, wishing you all the best with your channel and life. My only advice is to follow your passion and interests unabashedly and be kind to your others and yourself. And I did say thank you very much. I did say thank you very much. I like the comment. And Arion Kratos, thank you so much for the comment. It just gives me some belief and some encouragement. And I've realized something, that if I get to 100 subscribers before Worlds or at the end of Worlds, that's fine. But if I don't, listen, I think that if David Shynock or any other content creator will have to tell you, to get into your total goal is not going to be as easy. There's going to be days when your number of subscribers will drop like 1 to 2 times. You have that shivering down your spine. It's like, oh, this is bad. I lost like 3 subscribers already. And it's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of doing content. It's the nature of doing everything like that. You got to keep working. You got to keep going hard. You got to have to stay focused. Keep doing the things you do because eventually things will work out. You look at Tom Grossi, who, by the way, congratulations to him being married and all that stuff. You look at he has done all the work for like the last 13 years, and it got him to where he is right now. You look at um Perna and then Urinate Tree and all the people that I've watched and that have worked and I've realized they started off small. They started off with virtually nothing and they worked their way up. And let's be honest, I started out this whole thing with virtually nothing here. I think the last several years I never even got to 86K. I think I mean, let's be honest. I have never reached the 86 subscribers, maybe 87, but never reached the 86 subscribers. Look at the videos I've done, and don't worry. I'll get to the League of Legends content, of course, and a little confession I make. All of them are AI. All the thumbnails are AI, and I feel so guilty about doing it. I feel so guilty about it. But then again, I don't have like the massive, productions and all kinds of stuff. But some of the videos hit, some of the videos miss, but I keep working on it. I keep working on it because at the same time, it's going to be like, it's going to eventually work out. Look at the videos I've done. Look at all the shorts. Look at all the videos I've done. All of the, look at all of this stuff. Look at all of the stuff that I've done. Look at all of the stuff that I've done. I think yeah. I mean, look at all the stuff I've done. Look at all the appreciation. This is like me rolling back to memory lane. And by the way, I haven't been consistent in most of the times. And also, I did like worlds content, and I haven't done finals. I think I haven't done finals, of course, but I did a lot of world content. I did a lot of worlds content. I did a few TFT content, which, by the way, I started playing TFT, of course. And by the way, I did all of this in my room. My room is getting renovated, of course. And once my room is getting back, of course, I'll be back, of course. And then I did MSI. I did LEC stuff. I did all of it. I did all of it pretty well. I did my constant work. I think this is my favorite one is the state of LCS. This is literally my favorite video right now is the state of the LCS video in which I go on like full ham on the LCS. Which, by the way, I think it aged so well right now. I think right now it's gonna look back and it just aged so well. It's 3 years ago, but I believe it aged so well. And I also did Rogue, of course, but I never got Rogue the full thing. I did Worlds 2022. Like, god damn, Akeem. Did Worlds 2022. I think this is my first. I think that this is my. Well, no. I think I did my first video. Like, just look at how far I come. Look at how far I come. And I've done this for 4 years now. I've been watching a lot of YouTube, but I've been doing this for 4 years now. Like, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm just appreciating the silence, of course, where the saw and the kettle just blow out. You know what? I mean, just turn it off and then close the window and then appreciating this whole thing more. So I'm back and um I've been doing this whole thing for 4 years. I've been talking about League of Legends for 4 years now. And by the way, most of the videos I uploaded were on my iPad, for God's sakes. I don't even have a computer or anything to do that. I did it on a computer, but I never know I did it on an old Windows computer, and then I got my my I did my window viewing and news in the morning and all kind of stuff. Like, let's just say I've been inconsistently inconsistent. I've been inconsistently consistent most of the times. With the perks thing, Jesus Christ, 12 views and not much likes. I'm fishing. I was fishing for some consistency here. I never been consistent most of the times. I've been like spraying all over the place, like Death of a Team and LPL and LCK format and all that stuff. I am in so inconsistent, but at least I get to upload videos, which is something I always do and I will always do. But with everything that's going on right now with family and with sports, and I know I'm picking up on TFT and been watching a little anime a little bit. I just feel like I need to do something in order for me to not only be consistent but also balancing all the things I'm gonna do. Now, I'm gonna be updating you tonight, of course, but there are gonna be some massive changes to this channel. I know you're gonna groan. I know you're gonna groan, and I know many people are gonna be like, Akeem, you're making too many changes. It's gonna kill off the channel. All right, fine, but as long as I'm uploading the videos and shorts, that feels like a win to me. And I feel like I want to do something that is not League of Legends related. Like I've been doing, like look at the videos. I've been doing a lot of League of Legends related. I want to do something that is a little fun. I want to do something that's a little bit fun that is League of Legends related, but not in the League of Legends sense. You know what I mean? Like a little Runeterra thing or a little anime stuff. Those kind of stuff. A little bit out of nowhere. So yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be the whole thing. So thank you all for supporting. 86 subscribers is nothing to scoff at, of course, for a content creator like me. And let's just keep hoping to strive some more. If we don't get 100 by this year, that's fine. We might get it next year or 2 years or 3 years. I don't know, but that's fine for me. So enough of the rambling. I keep. Why are we here? So, yes, we are back to league review. But we're going to do something different from the regular league review because I've missed a lot of matches. I did manage to get the stats, but I did miss a lot of time in terms of content and everything like that. And that will all fix with the update. But for this league review, I'm going to do something a little bit audacious, but something you pretty much know about. Now, I want to do now. If people watch the movie Memento, which is by the way a Christopher Nolan classic, 26 years in the making, you notice that this movie is pretty much, and I'm not going to here to spoil the whole thing. I decided to not even read the plot. It said that you know, man, and all kind of stuff, and and it's a simple movie that says that we're gonna start at the end. The movie starts at the end and then progressively going into the beginning. It's like it's like you start it backwards and you move your way forwards, that kind of stuff. So I wanted to use this league review as a onus to Christopher Nolan and Memento as we decided to start this league review from today and then work our way from Monday, the time that I did not even do a review. So I'm going to kick this off with today's matches of Fear X T1 versus D plus. I was going to go Fear X DRX, but I decided to go T1 versus D plus because if I mention T1 in any other channel, that will give me a lot of views and a lot of likes. So you know what? It is what it is. And T1 got beat by D plus Kia. The bogey. I have to say right now, D plus Kia are kind of like the bogey team in all of LCK. They take down Genji, take down T1, took a game out of the KT roster. They are, I think, many people the mid team that everybody should fear at. In terms of like they're not good enough to be like the top team, but not bad enough to be like the bottom team, and they could took some series against other teams. To the point of like, are D plus Kia actually good? Are they actually good? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out, of course. But let's just get to the stats. And by the way, normally I will be reading some stats from fast, but I decided just take my time, again. Just take my time, read the stats slowly, and you'll understand. First to lose it on Xin Shao. 518, 13 KDA, 76 kill participation percentage, and 19.4k damage. Then it's Faker on the classic Azir, as per usual. He's my game two Pog. 6 0 4 perfect KDA, 67 kill participation, and 27.3k damage. And yes, you notice that I put up this because everybody knows the meme, so I decided, why not? Lucid on the Lee Sin, 5 2 and 11, 8 KDA, 59 kill participation percentage at 16.7k damage. That's DK. Can I say? I don't think it's an upset. It's more like beat T1. They beat T1 2-1. And here's my 3 stars of the series: Lucid, 11, 6, 21. That's 32. That is 5.3 KDA, 67 kill participation at 44.8k damage. For Carrier, I'll give Carrier the 2nd star because I don't think none of the D plus Carrier players did everything well. Showmaker, not so much, to be honest. Saiwu, okay. But I have to say, Carrier did well, especially in that game 3 with the Pike performance, which, by the way, David Shynock actually uploaded in his channel, of course, talking about it. The problem with Pike is pretty much simple. It's that he started off so well and then fell off a cliff afterwards. I mean, you gotta you gotta give Carrier credit. At least he made the Pike work for a while, but unfortunately, it fell off completely. But I will give him his flowers and give him the 2nd star of the series. 5'8", 22, 3.4 KDA, 79 kill participation at 30.9k damage. I think you could say that most of the 30.9k damage belonged to like Pike alone. So that's pretty much it. Career 2-5-31 on the support, 6.6 KDA, 69 kill participation, nice, 22.8k damage. My team of the series was Owner, 5, 10, and 15, 2 KDA, 59 kill participation at 36.9k damage. This was not a good look for T1 at all. Consider that they did demolish, DNS, which is, I think, is expected. DNS to beat them. It's an easy kill, but still, it's like DK has been showing up and really put in some hard work against some other teams. Like I said, KT roster and your Gen Gs and your T1s of the world. They managed to actually get some games out of them. They won 5 games against those top 3 teams. I think it's going to be a really interesting thing to see where T1 goes from there. They're in the mid-table, but they're not all convincing to me, unless something magical changes, which I think I have to ramp up for, the playoff end of the LCK, which is actually like kind of like the same thing with G2. It's like, we don't care about regular season, we care about the playoffs. Okay, sure. Until that thing will bite you in the ass, it is what it is. For DRX versus FearX, Diable was amazing, as usual, by his standards. And he was brilliant in this game. In this game, he played Israel 5-0-7 with a perfect KDA, 71 kill participation, and 12.k damage. And then in game 2, Kellen on Soraka with 20 assists. The fact that Soraka actually did that, my God, Kellen, that's amazing. He also got 100% participation. So he got 20 assists with all of those kill participation percentage. 9.5k damage, which is fine as support. But to do that deserves some respect from a support, of course. Diable 11, 2, and 19, 15 KDA, 81 kill participation, 54.9k damage. Kellen 1, 1, and 27, 28 KDA, 76 kill participation, and 18.5k damage. Clear 10, 3, and 7, 5.7 KDA, 46 kill participation, and 31.2k damage. Lazyfield is sadly my Teemu of the day, the team of the series. He could be my team of the week, by the way. He could be my team of the week, but for now, he'll be my team of the series. 3, 13, and 2, 0.4 KDA with a 38 kill participation and 32.7k damage. Not good. Not good at all. Now let's get to the second day. As like I said, we're going backwards in order to get our way to the current point. Han Life versus DNS. Like I said, DNS are just like a punching bag, of course. Kanavi 5, 1, and 9 on the Zinjal, 14 KDA, 58 kill participation, and 11.8k damage. And then Zeka on the Yone, 6-1 and 6, 12 KDA, 67 kill participation, and 30.2k damage. Zika is also my first star, 16-1 and 12 with a 28 KDA, 67 kill participation, and 56k damage. And then Gumi Yusi, 6-0 and 19 with a perfect KDA, 60 kill participation percentage, 36.9k damage. And then the line on support, 4-2 and 32, 18 KDA, 86 kill participation, and 14.8k damage. You're asking yourself, Akeem, why can't you just give top or jungle some love? Listen, I believe the support is getting a lot of shtick the last couple of days or the last couple of years. And I think for me personally, I think support deserves a lot more respect, a lot more love, and a lot more appreciation than I expected. I mean, like there's a video going around of a dog playing a support. That shows how incredible that support is. Okay, fine. It's a Yumi for God's sakes, and I think the champion needs to be the leader of the game. Let me just let's see. Maybe I should do a video about the champions that need to be deleted from the game. Maybe to trigger a lot of Riot Games employees. Maybe I might do a video. Maybe, but not right now. Team of the series is Dark Dom 777. Not like the casino winnings, of course, but an actual KDA, of course. 2 KDA, 67 kill participation at 37.2k damage. And then Genji, bro, this is not even a contest. Chovy just absolutely annihilate, bro. On the Azir, 7-5 and 5, 2.4 KDA. And I know what you're thinking. Ha! Okay, that's a horrible number. Do you see the goal lead, of course, between him and the mid laner? That's pretty much explained it. 35 kill participation and 28.6k damage. He also did well in the Nivea of all people. 5-1 and 14, 19 KDA, 90 kill participation at 35k damage. Like, woo, woo. Impressive. 12, 6, and 19, 5.2 KDA, 84 kill participation percentage at 63.6k damage. That's for Chovy, my first star. Duro for support, 2, 2, 26, 14 KDA, 76 kill participation at 10.8k damage. And then for Ruler, 12, 3, and 59 KDA, 73 kill participation at 47.7k damage. And then my team of the series was mid laner bro on Loki. 3, 9, and 8, 1.2 KDA, 58 kill participation at 36.1k damage. And then we get to Wednesday's matchup. Like I said, we're going backwards. KT versus DK. It was an absolute thriller. This was probably my match of the entire tournament. And I think this is probably my series of the entire split so far. There's a lot of splits to go, but this is already my split of the tournament. Although, the best of fives are going to be more impactful than best of threes. But in terms of like how tight this game was, this was a really, really tight game. I did not put effort stats for KT Rosa. That's how really lazy I was. But I actually, you know what? Let me just put effort stats in there. Let me just see. KT. Let me just see. Okay, just give me a minute. I need to put effort stats in there. I need to put effort stats. It's okay. I'm sorry about this, I have to put effort stats in there. Let me just see. 71 kill participation at 17.4k damage. 17.4k damage. Damn. All right. Okay, so that sorted that out. I did not put a single Timu on that series because if you look at the numbers, I don't think DK played anything badly, to be honest. Especially in that third game in which like everybody kind of improved, of course, to the point of like, okay, you can say Varys did badly, but Varys played badly, and maybe Nar. I mean, Sivu did not look great in the last two games. And then, of course, you got on the last two games. It's really tough, of course. There are going to be, like, some series that I don't feel like any team was in there because it was such a tight series and it could have gone any way. And, of course, if DK wins, I will probably elevate some of the players. If they don't, I will probably, like, negate some of the players. But I don't think there's any team of the series for this series. This was a really fascinating, tight series that lasted almost 2 hours, which is really sad. Look at that. almost 32 minutes on this one, 40 minutes on this one, and 45 minutes on this one. That was sweaty stuff. Sweaty stuff. Anyways, game one on Lucid with the Jarvan, 2-0-10, perfect KDA, 86 kill participation at 10.2k damage. And then effort on Seraphine, 3-2-18, 10.5 KDA, 64 kill participation at 6.4k damage. And then aiming on Yanara, 10-0-9, perfect KDA, 90 kill participation. Woo! 90. 48.1k damage. And then for my 3 stars of the series, I go with BDD, 12, 5, and 27 with a 7.8 KDA, 66 kill participation, and 63.1k damage. And then Amen, 22, 6, and 24, 7.7 KDA, 78 kill participation, and 99.8k damage. 99.8k damage! Almost 100k damage in that series. Jesus, I think you can say that most of those damage come from the Israel alone. Yeah, I think you can say that most of the damage come from the Israel alone. In a defeat. And look at the last 2 games. On Ash and on Yanara. Amazing stuff. And then effort 4-1-11 and 8-38. 3.8 KDA, 71 kill participation at 17.4k damage. Like I said, I have no team of the series for this one. And then for Noxian and Fearex, this was a Noxian beatdown on Fearex. Sponge and Scout put up absolute work. Again, did not put numbers on Sponge and Scout. God damn it, Akeem. Okay. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I'm a little bit mad when I don't get any number. Listen, sometimes I could get a little bit mad when I don't, produce numbers on certain matches. It got me frustrated. Sometimes I get a little frustrated, like, Akeem, you forgot the numbers on this game. Like, oh my god, I'm so mad. Let me just give you some numbers. Okay, so Sponge was amazing on the Pantheon. 10-2-9, 9.5 KDA, 90 kill participation, and 21.1k damage. Oh, there you go. And then for Scout in game 2. Scout on Anivia, 12-1 and 12, 24 KDA, 86 kill participation, and 28.5. He out even played Jin on damage. Impressive stuff. Incredible stuff, of course. So those are the 2 series. That's probably the series, of course. Sponge, 15, 6, and 30, 7.5 KDA, 92 kill participation, and 38.8k damage. And then Scout, 14, 4, 20, 8.5 KDA, 69 kill participation, nice, 52.9k damage. And then Lahans, 0, 5, and 41, 8.2 KDA, 84 kill participation, and 15.4k damage. And then for my team of the series, Raptor, 4, 13, 11, 1.2 KDA, and 71 kill participation, and 27.7k damage. So that is the LCK. And now it is time to transition to the LPL. And let's start with JDG getting absolutely blasted by NIP and Assume, who was unbelievable. And don't get mad, Akeem. Don't get mad. Just write the stats. Akeem. Just write the stats. Just write the goddamn stats. Just write the goddamn stats sometimes. You were listening to drum and bass. You were listening to liquid drum and bass while doing this, Akeem. It's not that hard. Just write some stats. Okay, it's not that hard. Okay, good. Assume Yanara, 11, 3, and 7, 4.7 KDA, 78 kill participation percentage at 22.6k damage. And then he did it again on Lucian, who was late carrying this whole team fight. 8, 2, and 4, 6 KDA, 75 kill participation, and 45.8k damage. He was my first star, 19, 5, and 11, 6 KDA, 77 kill participation, at 68.4k damage. And then Jun on the Lulu, and of course the Seraphine. I think he was brilliant on the Seraphine, of course. Let's just see. No. Milio of all people. What the hell? Milio. Okay. 3, 4, 30, 8.3 KDA, 85 kill participation, and 12k damage. And then Goo 1 on the jungle, 4, 3, 20, 8 KDA, 62 kill participation, and 27.6k damage. My team of the series was Gala. Gala, man. Dude. Not your best stuff. 499, 1.4, 59 kill participation, and 46.9k damage. Yeah, JDG are one in the yeah JDG are 1-3. First stand participants, by the way, and they're 1-3. Which listen, am I that surprised they're 1-3? Consider that we're never supposed to be in this situation. Consider that top esports and IG are better than them. Yeah, yeah, you can say that they are fell off completely. Kind of like the same thing with Fearx, although they got 2 wins in a row, of course. But it's tough to duplicate the same things from like the first split onwards with so many other teams getting stronger and stronger every year. Now we know that Tabe is a great person when it comes to playoffs, and we're gonna find out, of course, in the next couple of days. But this JDG team is just not having a great start, to be honest. And then it was Thunder Talk versus OMG. Starry was amazing on the Israel. 8-0-4, perfect KDA, 86 kill participation, 38.7k damage. And then John Hall, 4-1-9, 13 KDA, 87 kill participation, 17.7k damage. And then he was on it again with Lee Sin, 7-1-9, 16 KDA, 80 kill participation, and 13.1k damage. Let me just talk about Lee Sin. Let's just talk about Lee Sin just a little bit here. Now, you notice that he had 2 of his buffs. His Sonic Wave get buffed to 5 points, 5 points, pretty much literally. And the minimum base damage is just increased by 5 points as well. I mean, these are two like small changes. His his Sonic Wave and Resonance Strike, his Qs are getting like a little bit buff. Those kind of stuff. And then Iron Will is getting removed, of course. And then of course you got a lot of stats being reduced and all kinds of stuff. But this is one of those small changes, of course, for Lee Sin. But since Lee Sin got played, look at the numbers. And by the way, I think most of the numbers are coming from like the rest of the region, like all that stuff. Let me just refresh again to see if the numbers updated. Let's just see if the numbers updated. Okay, so these are some of the numbers, of course, from like your lower league regions and your LPL. But look at the numbers. 41 times he played Lee Sin, 56.1k win percentage with 4 KDA. He has won 23 of those games so far. 23 wins. That's amazing. And I have a presence of 16% in the series and a priority score of almost 7%. That is amazing. And he always pick around the second round when you're like, you trying to get an aggressive, jungler to like take down the AD carry, take down all the kind of stuff. It's amazing champion. And by the way, I think you look at the presence. He was up by 20% and then down in 16%. And now he's picking up a little bit, just picking up a little bit. And you can see in the LCP, he picked 5 times 60%. LCK 50%, half of it, and then LCS full 100% because Jose Yoda was the only one playing it. And then he was great on Nocturne, great on Jarvan. And yeah, this is a really good champion, Lee Sin. A really good champion. So to see Lee Sin actually popping off is not a gigantic surprise in any ways, but wow, I've never thought Lee Sin could be that important. Could be important going MSI time. Who knows? John is my third star, 13, 3, and 19, 10.7 KDA, 84 kill participation, and 38.k damage. And then on 15, 5, and 16, 6.2 KDA, 82 kill participation, and 68.3k damage. And then Kashi, 5, 6, and 16, 3.5 KDA, 55 kill participation, and 52k damage. And then Juhan, 8, 9, 11, 2.1 KDA, 66 kill participation, and 31.5k damage. He's my team on the series. And that was that. For my second day, we're gonna go AL versus TWE, and these two series was not even close. Although you can say Top East was just clapping BLG, it's surprising to many because I consider how good BLG has been. Although their wings are getting clipped, of course, after the EWC. Speaking of EWC, I'll be talking about the EWC just a little bit and talk about a little LCS news, a little bit, if I have the time, of course. Zuan on the vein. My God, how do you do, Zuan? 3, 6, and 6, 1.5 KDA, 47 kill participation, and 23.7k damage. You're thinking to yourself, lol, horrible numbers. But I said the impact of this champion. The impact of this champion in the late game, especially getting damage, especially getting kills, of course, is important. Now, I know the KDA is important to all you guys and saying, higher KDA, big numbers, give him MVP. I don't. I don't do that. Okay, I don't do that. I said, yes, you're 3, 6, and 6, but do you make an impact towards your team winning? And he did. So that's the most important part. Dan Tian on the Pantheon did have an impact on this game. 8, 2, and 10, 9 KDA, 82 kill participation, and 21.7k damage. And then A little bit note, by the way, on Zuan. He is a rookie top laner for TES who actually doing well so far. He put Ben on the bin. Ben did not have a great series, which is pretty much reminiscent of how Zuan did, which is why I said you look at his numbers and saying, okay, do you neutralize Ben? And he did. He neutralized one of the best top laners in the world, which I believe that's a win for that. Tian was my first star, 11, 5, and 22, 6.6 KDA, 80 kill participation, and 35k damage. And then Cream in the mid lane, 10, 2, and 15, 12.5 KDA, 61 kill participation, and 62.3k damage. And then Jackie Love, 12, 6, and 17, 4.8 KDA, 71 kill participation, and 50.5k damage. My team of the series is Bin, top lane, 2, 11, 12, 1.2 KDA, 47 kill participation, and 30.4k damage. Yeah, so there is that. A massive win for Top Esports. 2-0 BLG like that. Impressive. And then AM was a difference in WE. This is not even a close series. Tarzan, 3-0-15, perfect KDA, 72 kill puts a bit in 16.8k damage on the Skarner, and then Flandering on Jace. Yes, there are Jace games that are good, and there are Jace games that are bad. I believe this one was a bad Jace game, and this is the good Jace game. I did not show you the Jace games for this number, but I just wanted to indicate if Jace works on the top, great. If Jace doesn't work, you have problems. 1, 1, and 6, 7 KDA, 54 kill puts at 50.2k damage. Yes, 50.2k damage. That's the most important number, of course. And then he was my MVP. 10.5, 55 kill puts at 76.1k damage. And then Tarzan, 6, 4, and 21, 6.8 KDA with a 71 kill puts at 42.3k damage. And then Hope, 10, 3, and 11 with a 7 KDA, 55 kill puts at 70.3k damage. For my team of the series is Cube. Cube, man. Oh, this guy's an absolute failure. 2, 9, and 4, 0.7 KDA, 32 kill per minute, and 28.k damage. Yeah, not good. And then, of course, we go back to Wednesday when IG and Weibo Gaming face off. And it was a tight series. It was going to 3 games, and Weibo Gaming somehow beat IG. Like I said, I think Weibo Gaming is kind of like DK in most sense. Is like they're weird. They are inconsistent, consistently sometimes, but they can actually knock off top teams when they feel like it. And this is like another one when they feel like it. Start off rough with Bard on Mako, who was brilliantly well. 3, 1, and 17, 20 KDA, 95 kill points and 13.9k damage. And then game 2, when game 2 happens, when I think I remember this series so vividly well. When game 2 happened and Mako put up incredible numbers, I was thinking to myself, yeah, this game is cooked. This game is absolutely cooked for Weibo Gaming after Mako having an incredible performance. Like, Mako was absolutely doing well. Oh, no, Mako was absolutely doing. Whoa, wait. Did I have the right series? Yeah, I have the right series. Mako was doing absolutely exceptionally well on Nivea, of course. They were dominating the game. Of course. And I wish I have the charts to show you, but I will tell you in ad lib. And that, Weibo get Invictus Gaming were about to win this game. They were about to win this game. They were on the Nexus, and unfortunately, they cannot even hit the Nexus. And unfortunately, yeah, you can just go back and watch the series, but they cannot even hit the Nexus. They lost that game, and then they lost the series in Game 3, where JJ once again dominated the game on 5, 1, and 9, 14 KDA, 88 kill participation, and 11.5k damage. So this ends one of the craziest series of the week. I think this one and the KT DK is probably my nominees for craziest series of the week, of course. And then JJ was my top star, 13, 3, and 31, 14.7 KDA with a 90 kill participation and 60.4k damage. Mako on support, 10, 11, 31, 30.7 KDA, 84 kill participation and 30.1k damage. And then Zika on top, 10.6 KDA, 10, 6, and 9, 3.2 KDA, 39 kill participation and 52.8k damage. And then for my team of the series, I go with Breed on the top, 4, 10, and 16, 2 KDA, 41 kill participation and 71.93k damage. You know who my team of the series, if IG would have won this game? I would have just, given it to maybe Zika, of course. Maybe Zika could be my team of the week. I mean, look at how close this is. This was a really good first game, and then everything went to ham and a hound baskets. after that. So that concludes my LPL LCK backwards theory, my memento theory, of course. Talk about all the things that happened from today until the last 2 days. But we have more series to cover, of course. So we're gonna cover. So we got a couple of games to cover. We're gonna cover Fnatic and Shifters, in which Fnatic, what the fuck? I am sorry, Fnatic. You wanted to puff up your chest and say, "We beat G2, baby. We are the best team in the LEC," and then to do that against SK Gaming of all teams, to lose to SK Gaming of all teams. And the weirdest part about it is that the first game of the series is pretty much the nomination for craziest game of the entire split. And by the way, good luck facing G2 tomorrow, because I think G2 is gonna be angrier than a wasp of wasps. Game one was so bonkers. 56 minutes. 56 minutes in the game. It was the definition of bonkers. This game was up and down, all around, up and down, chaotic stuff. The Fnatic have a goal lead, and the Fnatic have a massive goal lead at 4K, and then they gotta throw it away. And look at that. This is just insane. This game was insane. It is the longest game of the LEC this split, or probably the longest LEC game this year. And then, Fnatic collapsed. Well, not collapsed. They put up a decent fight. And, Vladi did something. But this is just nothing, man. This is just... Oh, Fnatic, man. And by the way, Leader did it on Zen. You lost to Zen in the mid lane. Oh, just sell this freaking franchise. Damn it. In fact, Yamato Cannon did a good video about what's happening to Fnatic. What went wrong for Fnatic at this point? Because he was part of the team, of course. And if I were Yamato Cannon, if I were to speak to Yamato Cannon, I was saying, dude, this organization is just absolutely atrocious. Okay, I think they need a little intervention. Like, you go from beating G2 to this. Anyways, let's talk about the series. Jopa, Ani as well, 7-0-3, perfect KDA, 71 kill participation, and 68.5k damage. And then Wonder on the Rumble. Yes, Wonder on the Rumble, of all playable. 4, 5, and 11 with a 3 KDA, 79 kill participation, and 37.7k damage. And then, of course, my 3 stars are Jopa, 14, 2, and 10. He was brilliant. 12 KDA, 73 kill participation, and 96.1k damage. 96.1k damage. Jesus Christ. Then Wonder on the top, 6, 12, and 20. 2.2 KDA, 79 kill participation, and 74.9k damage. And then Leader, 8, 6, and 14. 3.7 KDA, 67 kill participation, and 70.8k damage. This was a team last week that I said they needed to, blow up the whole team, unplug the controllers, and just that. And Fnatic lost to them. They lost to the team that I said they should, blow up or something. Like, what the heck? And Epiros, sorry, dude, you're the team of the series. Maybe the team of the week, of course. 6, 9, 13, 2.1 KDA, 59 kill participation, and 33.6k damage. And then Giant X for the Shifters, I have nothing much to say. Jackie's is just unbelievable, man. Especially on your Aurora. 8, 1, and 3, 11 KDA, 85 kill participation, and 33.4k damage. And then Isma on the Nocturne, 4, 2, and 9, 60.5 KDA, 65 kill participation, and 17.7k damage as Giant X has started 4-0. 4-0. When was the last time Giant X were ever, this good? Well, it's a little bit early, and, Carmen Corp and G2 in the playoffs will have something to say about that. But for now, if you're a Giant X fan, my oh my, something good is about to happen. Jun in support, 1, 2, and 26. 1, 2, and 26 as a support. And by the way, I believe he's my first... Jun played him. I think Jun played a fantastic game. Let me just look. I think Jun played a fantastic game. Now, yes, it's against Shifters, of course. But you have to understand, look at the work he did. Look at the work. Played fine on Bard, but then that Rakan game. Woo! 0-15. I mean, it could have been one of my MVPs of this game, but I had to give it to Nocturne. He was fine. But he's my first star. 1, 2, and 26. 18.5 KDA, 82 kill participation, and 13.1k damage. And then Jackie's 14, 3, and 8, 7.3 KDA, 67 kill participation, and 56.5k damage. And then Noah on the 80 carry, 8, 2, and 16, 12 KDA, 73 kill participation, and 49.8k damage. Nock has my team of the series, 4, 9, and 5, 1 KDA, and 36.1k damage. Now, later on Reddit, I will be uploading my 3 stars and team of the week on Reddit. So please be on the lookout on your Reddit page into upload it. I kind of uploaded all my LEC stuff before the week so that I can just boost all the numbers and then like trigger a lot of people. It is what it is. I don't hear a lot of comments about the stats, but I hope they'll do. I hope they'll do. And that concludes all the stuff that I've done this week. Now I'm gonna go briefly into CB LOL because I did not even do my CB LOL week stuff. And also, some of the CB LOL games take place on a Tuesday, a Monday, and a Tuesday of all days. So Red just stomp on Leviton, nothing much to say. Defense was absolutely awful, and then Law VKS just absolutely beat Laws in a close series. I didn't have no team with a series for this one. It was such a back and forth series, and then Fiora just beat Pain Gaming, which is not a surprise, of course. IU was amazing, especially on Misfortune 10-0-1. He was my first star, and he was brilliant. And then Fluxio just beat Loud. Like, what the hell? Fluxio just beat Loud based on the beautiful stuff by Cody and Bio. Cody was amazing on the Kali, then amazing on LeBlanc. And then Zyno, unfortunately, my good top laner is playing my team of the series. And yeah, that's that. That's pretty much CB LOL. Not too much to go through the CB LOL, but I think that pretty much covers everything I have for this entire week, and that's great. But before that, a lot of LCS news to cover. And we're going to kick off with... Actually, you know what? Let's just kick off with the EWC stuff. Let's just kick off with the EWC stuff. Oh, Akeem is going to talk about Saudi Arabia and all that stuff. I said, I don't care. Oh, I don't care. I do not care what many people think. Now, before I'm going to do that, let me just do a little disclosure. Before I'm going to do that, let me just do a little confession. Okay, let me just do a little confession. I watched the Qatar World Cup. I watched some Saudi Arabia racing. I watched Manchester City just dominate the Premier League. And I watched a lot of things that is pretty much like, I don't know. I even watched like the some of the League of Legends that had the Esports World Cup banner on it. Okay? So if anybody want to tell me that I feel like, oh, Akeem, you're just ruining your morals because of doing this. Akeem doesn't mind. I'm a League of Legends person and not a political stance and all that kind of stuff. What they're doing is wrong, and that's fine if you want to voice your opinion. If you do not want to talk about the tournament or you do not want to watch it, that's on you. That is completely on you, 100%. I am not going to hold you against you. You do you. But I am strictly 100% of a League of Legends content creator, and I'm going to be talking about League of Legends. So if I feel like when I talk about League of Legends, even if it's a gross sometimes, I'll be talking about League of Legends. You saw footballers talk about like oil money and all kinds of stuff, and yet they're still watching the football. Hell, I'm going to be watching the World Cup despite all the BS that's going on in America. So you know what? You go stay in your lane. I'm going to stay in mine. That's my 2 cents. Now then, for the EWC North America qualifying, I have to say, Shopify and Dignitas are going to get absolutely murked in the offseason. I think China uploaded a video on the pit talking about this whole thing, and I think he's right. Yeah, Dignitas and Shopify Rebellion needs to be like let go immediately. Like Dignitas, fine. Most of the players get an NACL rookie, of course. And by the way, I haven't watched a lot of NACL and a lot lately. I didn't even cast. And I think there's a good reason. And I think that may be the reason. But I think some NACL blood is going to be needed for Dignitas, of course. But what about the visas? At this point, guys, I think Dignitas are so far down that I don't think visas is the least of their issues. I don't think visas are the least of the issues. Shopify Rebellion, I think pretty much the same thing, but it is what it is. So for the scheduled matches, of course, and let's just look at the bracket. Let's just look at a lovely bracket. So Lion versus FlyQuest, and I say you say Lion are looking decently well, but they're not looking at themselves. And Lion and by me FlyQuest looking absolutely fly right now. They did. Wait, okay, I just calm down a game. Let's look at the matches. They did well, of course, blanking FlyQuest. In fact, they did beat Team Liquid on a Nasus jungle. Yes, Akeem. They beat Team Liquid with Susan jungle. What the heck? By the way, they didn't even show us the stats or the coverage or the broadcast. It's like, guys, you realize that both of these teams are part of the EWC program and you cannot even find a way to coverage it? Now, I want to thank FlyQuest for actually having the casters of Papa Smitty and Griffin, streaming the whole thing. And by the way, Griffin, man, can I say that Griffin is one of my favorite players right now to watch? I love Griffin. The personality, the way he plays, the fact that he's got all the confidence. I love Griffin to death, and I wanted to see his journey. If Griffin were to like, see this video or maybe do a tweet about me and all kinds of stuff, maybe that'll be great, and I appreciate him, of course, but this guy's an absolute stud, especially playing Nas's juggle to win that game against North Team is amazing. And then, they will face off against Lion, who are a little shaky themselves. So I think FlyQuest could favor beating them, but I think it'll be a close series. And then Cloud9 Sentinels will be it's a tough one. Maybe Cloud9 might beat them, maybe they don't. And then the loser will face off against these two teams. And then April 23rd and 28th will be like, and then the 29th will be the finale, and then the winner will go to EWC. That's not the only big news. A couple of days ago, the Mullet Arena is now being picked to host the LCS Spring Final. Now, Jesus, I think it's a little too light. Let me just darken it up a little bit. There you go. Much better. Now, this Mullet Arena, by the way, is hosting the Arizona, the Arizona State hockey team. And also the last remnants of that awful Arizona Coyotes. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't want to see that logo again. Thank God we got the Utah Mammoths. And by the way, they're making the playoffs. And also, by the way, NHL playoffs is coming up tomorrow. And NBA playoffs. And Arsenal Manchester City. And my team against Chelsea. And then Liverpool Everton. Big weekend coming up, maybe, ladies and gentlemen. But let me just talk about Mullet Arena, by the way. And it's a fascinating place, by the way. 5,000 seat venue, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. 5,000 seat venue. If there's like empty seats in this arena for a 5,000 stadium event, you might as well have every LCS final be in the LCS studio. If this stadium does not fill up all the way to the brim, and I'm not saying like all the way full, but let's say 90% capacity. If we don't get like 90% capacity, you might as well close up shop and just put all the games in the LCS arena. This is going to be a test of what the LCS is going to be like right now, because the viewership is not looking great right now, and the interest of the LCS is not looking great right now. Cloud Siki make a video talking about how poor the LCS is in terms of team right now. So, and by the way, it's only week 2. Things will get better, of course, as the weeks go on. But the perception about the LCS is just not looking good right now. And if this stadium, this beautiful stadium, by the way, this beautiful Holy Grail stadium does not give you 5,000 beautiful LCS souls, we might as well pack up and go to the LCS arena for all the matches. In fact, it's not even LA, guys. It's in Arizona. Like, West, sure. But by the way, the Final Four took place in Arizona, the ladies' Final Four, and even the playing game between Phoenix and Portland, which, by the way, Portland won that game. Whew, that was something else. That took place in Phoenix. So Phoenix is not West, but it's kind of like it's a hotbed for like incredible events, especially sporting wise. If you cannot get a 5,000 seat event for this, if you cannot fill those seats, then get out of here. Then just get out of here. Don't have any more arenas. Just put it in the LCS arena and just call it a day. Because right now, the interest of the LCS is just dying so much that I want to talk about it, but I will be like wasted all my oxygen and time. And lots of time. So I decided to leave it at that. So that's some LCS news to talk about. And I think this week's LCS is not going to be as pretty as, of course. It's going to be a lot of ass whooping this week. Yeah, a lot of ass whooping this week. Cloud9 is going to beat this guys, and then FlyQuest Sentinels is going to be the really interesting one. It's going to be like the peak my interest kind of game. It's like Sentinels are decent, but not as great. So does FlyQuest, but they're all the up and up, of course, a little momentum. So this is probably my match of the week, of course. My sneaky LCS match of the week. And then of course Sunday is beatdown Sunday. Shopify is going to get creamed by Lion, and then T-Lot and Dignitas should be like 18 plus. It should not be seen by children. And of course, there are other series, of course, for this weekend. It's going to be a lot of action. Now, normally the LEC is supposed to start with 3 games, but decided to do it 2 games. So that means we get 2 games in each region. That adds 12 games to cover. GX versus Navi, I think is going to be my sneaky good favorite. G2 and SK Gaming, although we saw SK Gaming just beat Fnatic, so be careful, of course. My favorite game is Hunter Life Esports versus Gen G. Oh boy, how that's fun. It's gonna be fun, of course. KT Russell just absolutely deliver, DNS like soup. JDG will have to pick up the pieces and actually beat Weibo, which I'm not sure they can do that because Weibo can be streaky as hell. BLG can need to pick up the pieces against IG. So these are really two tough games, of course, to call. And then, of course, you got Fluxio versus Furia, Lost versus Pain Game, and then CFO D Cross, and then DFM versus NVK. And then for Sunday, Vitality versus Giant X, Heretics versus MCoy, and then Bro will take on Nogshim, and then KRX versus T1. I don't think we have anything close to that. IG will take on Top Esports, and anyone legend will take on BLG. And then Beatdown Sunday, of course, and then Loud Leviton, Rad Very Chaos, and then Team Tuka Wells versus SoftBank Hawks, and then Gavin versus Ground Zero. And then for Monday, we just only have two LEC games, and then the qualifiers, but two LEC games. Shifters will take on G2 and then SK versus KO Corp. I think it'll be beat down city for there. And by the way, I will be doing my league reviews on all the games for this week, and I'll be uploaded on Tuesday. That will be part of my changes. In fact, I will do my changes right now to close out the day. So for my changes, and sometimes I make a lot of promises that I don't even keep, but I will try my best to do this one. So for this one is that I'm sorry, but I cannot do the cringe NCL casting. I just can't. I will only do reviews because yes, while I do this whole thing and I'm doing this on a computer, and by the way, this is my Chromebook. This is an Intel HP Chromebook, which is like it's fine, but it's never going to be like as great with the OBS and all kind of stuff. I don't think I have any frame rates to do it. And of course, the frame rate for this video is going to be absolutely awful. So unfortunately, I cannot do the cringe casting and all, of course, like busy stuff with League of Legends and all kind of stuff. You only get 2 shorts a day. I'm going to do the little David Shynock thing and only do 2 shorts a day, talking about something big, about the whole thing. If it's is it League of Legends related or newsworthy, I will talk about it. Listen, people are like, oh, you're copying David Shynock. I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm copying David Shynock sometimes, but I just like, what would be good for me in terms of like not have my brain just clogged up with like, oh, you better do a video like this, you better do a video like that. Try to do it now and just leave it out there. Just that's it. And then league review will be out on Tuesday. We'll be recording Monday after the LEC, which is going to be something I do. Death of a Team will sadly be canceled. I was do a Death of a Team about some other team, but I decided to like pull it away from now until like we have some free time. And then LCK and LPL reviews will be reduced to post on YouTube. So it'll be like YouTube post about my 3 stars and my team of the series, and that will be it. So yeah, that's gonna be my wholesale changes for this channel update. If you want, information about this and you want more stuff, contact me and all kind of stuff, and hopefully it'll help me, of course. So busy weekend for me, of course, in league and sports and everything else. And I thank you all for watching this channel. If you like, please like, comment, subscribe to this whole video. I'll be on X, Instagram just a little bit, and maybe Reddit, I guess. But if you have to, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, do all kind of stuff. We're all closer to 100 subscribers. We're 14 subscribers away. We need 14 subscribers. Here's a little crazy stuff. If I get to 100 subscribers, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait until that happens. And then, it is what it is. So anyways, thank you all watching. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy all the chaotic things that go on in league and sports and everything like that. And I will see you all next time. Peace.